Welcome back to Fairy Tale Fables, where every story holds a special kind of magic. Today, we turn the page to a new chapter in a beloved tale. In the Grand Palace, where every corner shimmered with sunlight and every hall echoed with laughter, lived our dear Cinderella. Now a princess, she was loved not just for her grace, but for the boundless kindness that flowed from her heart like a gentle stream. The kingdom flourished under her warmth, and the people saw in her a queen of compassion. Every day she would walk through the palace gardens, her smile a gift to every villager and child she met. Life was a beautiful dream, filled with joy and peace, but far away, in a dusty, forgotten cottage, news of the new princess travelled like a bitter wind. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella, huddled in their dimly lit kitchen, their faces a mixture of shock and disbelief. "Cinderella, a princess?" the stepmother hissed, her voice sharp with envy. Impossible. The girls, once so proud, could only stare, their minds reeling. How could the girl they had treated like dirt now be the most celebrated person in the land? The news didn't bring them joy. It planted a dark seed of jealousy in their hearts. As the days turned into weeks, that seed of jealousy grew into a thorny vine of resentment. Huddled around a single flickering candle, the stepmother and her daughters spent their nights whispering in the shadows. "It's your fault," Anastasia would accuse Drizella. "You were too lazy to even try on the slipper." "My fault," Drizella would retort. "You were the one who laughed when the Grand Duke arrived." Their mother would just listen, her face contorted with bitterness, blaming them both for their lost chance at riches and royalty. Their home, once filled with cruel laughter at Cinderella's expense, was now thick with anger and regret, the air heavy with unspoken blame. They were trapped in a prison of their own making, a world without a single ray of light. One evening, on a quiet visit to the village to deliver blankets for the poor, Cinderella's path took her past her old home. A faint light glowed from the kitchen window, and familiar voices drifted out into the cool night air. Curiosity turned to sorrow as she drew closer and heard their words, harsh, cruel, and full of hate, not just for her, but for each other. Each spiteful comment was like a tiny needle piercing her heart. She stood unseen in the shadows, the weight of their bitterness pressing down on her. A profound sadness washed over her, not of anger, but of pity. Their world was so small, so consumed by darkness. As she walked back to the palace under the starry sky, a battle raged within her. Every cruel word, every unjust punishment, every lonely night she had spent by the cinders, replayed in her mind. The pain was still there, a faint scar on her soul. A part of her wanted to hold on to that hurt, to let them live with the consequences of their cruelty forever. But then, she remembered the promise she had made to herself and to her late mother, to have courage and be kind, always. She looked at her reflection in a garden pond, half her face bathed in moonlight, the other in shadow. Kindness wasn't about ignoring the past. It was about choosing a better future. She knew what she had to do. The next morning, Cinderella returned to the cottage. She didn't come with guards or royal decrees. Instead, she carried a basket filled with warm, freshly baked bread, sweet jams, and a bouquet of the most beautiful flowers from the palace garden. She knocked gently. When the door creaked open, her stepfamily stared, utterly speechless. They expected anger, perhaps revenge, but before them stood Cinderella, her expression open and her hands offering gifts. "I heard you were struggling," she said, her voice soft but steady. "I wanted to help." The stepmother and stepsisters were frozen, their shock so profound that they couldn't even speak. In the face of such unexpected grace, the walls they had built around their hearts began to crumble. The stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella, couldn't meet Cinderella's gaze. They lowered their eyes in shame, the memory of their own cruelty flashing before them. A single tear traced a path down Anastasia's cheek. Even the stepmother, a woman whose heart seemed made of stone, felt an unfamiliar warmth spread through her chest. Her stern face softened, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. It wasn't pity they felt, but a profound sense of awe. Cinderella's kindness was a light so bright it was impossible to ignore, and it was melting the ice that had encased their hearts for so long. Cinderella didn't demand an apology. She simply invited them to sit with her. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow through the small kitchen window, they shared the bread she had brought. For the first time, there were no sharp words, no bitter accusations. There was only a quiet understanding. In that moment, they finally saw the truth. Their cruelty had only brought them misery, while Cinderella's kindness had brought her a kingdom. Her forgiveness wasn't just a gift to them. It was a lesson. It was a gentle hand reaching into their darkness and showing them the way back to the light, proving that even the most withered hearts could learn to bloom again. And so, our story reminds us of a powerful truth. Forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it has the incredible power to brighten the future. It frees not only the person who is forgiven, but even more so, the person who chooses to forgive. It is the ultimate act of courage and kindness. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more fairy tale fables. Until next time, may your own stories be filled with courage and kindness,